What's up, guys? Mike here, head trader, True Trading Group, July 25th. I want to forget about this day. Probably one of the most frustrating days I've had in a long time. And as badly as I want to just shut my computer down, and go in the pool, go to the gym, anything, I feel like it's really important that on a day like this that I really kind of share with you guys what went on today. And why today was one of the more frustrating days I've had in a while. My execution today was absolutely horrible. If you guys have been following my channel for a while now, you know that I have been talking about a short squeeze and Beyond Meat up into the 220s for several days now. Back on Monday, today's Thursday, back on Monday, we had a breakout day in Beyond Meat. That was kind of the beginning of the short squeeze, and I traded it perfectly twice. Pulled out like $7 a share and then $5.50 a share on two separate trades. Was a big day. And then I was talking about, getting continuation on that short squeeze, okay, and with a target up into the 220s. And today I went after it not once, not twice. Not once, but twice I went after it. And I took a loss both times. I actually got shaken out and stopped out of this trade twice in the same day. And then later in the day, I had to watch this thing just squeeze without me. I went after it twice in the morning. I got stopped out twice in the morning. And then it was a real battle, like a mental battle with myself the rest of the day with, I still in my gut felt like this thing was going to squeeze. And I was really, really undergoing like a real serious mental battle within myself of, if my gut's telling me it's still going to squeeze, should I get back in for a third time? Or, am I revenge trading right now? And like, should I just, am I going to make things worse? I mean, I was upset at this point. I was really frustrated. My emotions were starting to run wild a little bit. And I said, you know what, it might be better off if I just kind of sit this one out, because there were two really good other opportunities that I could have re-entered Beyond Meat that turns out would have been home runs, because the stock ended up continuing much higher in the afternoon. And here we are after market. We just hit 234. So well past my initial target of the 220s, where we just printed 234 after market. Company announcing today that they have plans for a bacon product now, and that's what initially caused the gap up. And it's got earnings coming up, and I think in 4 days. I think they have earnings on the 29th, if I'm not mistaken. I believe. So that should be interesting. But this is an important video that I share with you guys, because it's important that you guys can see that this stuff happens to me too. I've been doing this for a long time, 14 years, did it professionally on Wall Street, worked at a hedge fund, received the Trader of the Year award in 2008. I've been a consistently profitable trader now for a long time. But this stuff still happens, and you will be humbled by the market. Just when you think you're trading really well, you think you've got it figured out, then you get humbled. And these type of days happen, and they happen to me too. Okay, so you guys are not alone if you've had days like that, and that's why I wanted to come on and make this video and really kind of talk to you guys about the day, because this is one of my worst days. Like as far as like my frustration level, and I took a decent hit on the day. I had 2,000 shares of this thing in the morning, guys. So you guys can see how frustrated I am with a position size like that, to see this thing make the move that I thought it was going to make, and then not even just miss it. I actually lost money. That's how poor my execution was today. And like I said, as painful as it is for me to make this video, I do think it's important that I share this with you, and it's not only always the good, but it's also, you guys need to see the bad, and sometimes you can learn the most from the bad. So I just got done doing the recap and everything with all our members in chat, so now I want to share kind of what happened today with you guys. All right, so let's zoom this in. Okay, let's go all the way back here, and let's actually go back out a little bit further, because I'm playing this off of the previous all-time high. So there's your previous all-time high that was put in on the 23rd. Okay, so now as I zoom this in, we gapped up today and exploded right through that previous all-time high with real good volume right off the bell. We shot right through, and I said, okay, today's the day. Now is the day we're going to squeeze. I was so sure of it in my gut that I'm like, today's the day we're going to squeeze. Now on that first pullback, I'm looking to get long. We got this first pullback. I jump in long right there. I didn't save my screenshots again. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm already mid-filming this, and I already shut the chat down. I didn't save my screenshots again. This day just can't get any worse. Well, anyway, I'll just walk you guys through where my trades are. I entered literally right here at, I believe, my initial entry price was 209.38 or 209.42. Something like that was the fill on this first pull. I'm sorry, guys, that I didn't save the stuff. I can show you the exact price point, but this is where the entry point was on the first trade. This was 1,500 shares right there. That was the first entry point. Okay, we pull it in, and then we find support right here at the trade line, which is the 9 exponential moving average, which lines up with that previous all-time high, and we got a nice bounce off that level, and we start to form a little bit of a flag pattern here. Okay, so I'm starting to sit here. I'm saying, okay, it looks like we've got a little bit of a bull flag, little wedge pattern that's forming right above the previous all-time high. I've got the trade line acting as support. We're getting a trade line VWAP crossover, and I was looking for an extension breakout move and for us to squeeze up to 215 to 220. That's what I was looking for. Once I saw we got this trade line VWAP cross right here, I actually added to a tier 3 position right here on this candle. I added another 500 shares right here, so now I'm up to a 2,000 share position, and I'm looking for that breakout. After we got the trade line VWAP crossover, I'm looking for that explosive move, and we just never got it. You see, we got a huge rejection once we got to 211, and I ended up bailing out of this trade right there. Okay, it was like 208.40 or 208.35, something that was the exit. I lost about $1 a share on that trade. Okay, so a crappy way to start the day, but not a huge hole that I'm putting myself in. I can easily climb out of that later in the day. And I said, okay, you know what? With considering how much position size I had, I'm actually pretty happy that I only lost $1 a share on a stock as volatile as Beyond Meat. And the trade that I was looking for, that pattern that I was looking for, just did not work out. Okay, this is a huge rejection candle that would be very difficult to hold through as we just race down towards the low of the day. The pattern I was playing this on was a little flag pattern above the previous all-time high, trade line VWAP cross, and I was looking for that breakout, and I didn't get it. If that's the pattern I'm looking for, this is a failed pattern. And that's why I exited the trade and I stuck to my stop loss. Okay, well, to my demise, we end up holding. Okay, we never got the rollover. I thought we were going to roll over at that point. We never rolled over. We stuck it, held it, and started to climb our way back. And now as I start to zoom things out, I say to myself, you know what? This is actually starting to look like a nice little wedge pattern. Okay, like a larger wedge than what I was originally looking at. I'm like, you know what, this thing, if it was gonna roll over, okay, this was the moment for it to roll over. That would have been the perfect time for it to roll over, but it didn't. It stuck this trend line and came right back up into this wedge pattern. I said, you know what, this thing's still in play. So I went right back and I jumped in this again, but a tier 1 position this time. Okay. A tier 1 position this time. So I took 500 shares right here just for a tier 1 position. Okay, and I said if we break up and out of this wedge, I'm going to add to a tier 2. Sure enough, we broke up and out of this wedge, and at like 210.38 and like 210.40 were my fills. I added 1,000 shares right here on this break up and out of this wedge, and I was looking for a break out of the wedge and a continuation and get up there to break through highs. And again, we just get rejected and come right back down into that wedge pattern. So again, the pattern that I'm looking at, which was a wedge, this red candle, let me zoom in, this red candle would be a failed break out of that wedge. So now that's 2 different chart patterns, 2 different setups that I was going after that showed me a sign of, oh, nope, wrong, failed, wrong, failed. So I end up stopping out of this position right here. Okay, as we came back down into, actually it was on this candle. Okay, as we came back down inside the wedge and below this little breakout point, that's where I stopped out of my position. Well, long and behold, we end up holding, and then the short squeeze was on. And I'm like, at this point, I'm so pissed off because not only did I get stopped out of this thing once, I got stopped out of it twice. It's not like I was just sitting on the sideline. I didn't pull the trigger. I pulled the trigger on this thing twice. I got up to max size position. I was really going after this thing today. And then to take the 2 losses that I did and then to still see that I was right the whole damn time is so frustrating. I was so pissed off when this thing started to squeeze. And now I'm saying to myself, you know what? I still feel like this thing's going to go higher. And it was a real mental battle with myself today. I was like kind of quiet today. I was really trying to analyze the trade. I'm like, you know, if I still think it's going higher, there's still a chance for me to get back in and salvage the day and take advantage of this move. But then I'm saying, I'm so frustrated. I'm so angry. I'm so upset that I didn't want to revenge trade and I didn't want to over trade Beyond Meat. And I didn't want to, you know, go after it a third time if I took another loss, then go after it a fourth time. It's like, at what point do I just kind of wave the white flag and say, okay, Beyond Meat, you beat me today. And I decided to throw in the towel and not go after it a third time. And it was a real struggle for me to do that. Today was just not my day. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong on this Beyond Meat trade. You can see it ended up holding this trade line the whole day. Look at this trend line. Oh, sorry. I mean, just look at this trend line. I mean, just look at that support, this trend line. And needless to say, guys, we squeezed all the way up to 234 after the close. We got all the way up to 222 before the bell. Very frustrated to see this thing make the move that I was expecting it to make, and not only just not capitalize on it, lose money on it. I'm trying to find solace in the fact that I was right with my analysis, but it's not really working. I'm still very frustrated. And like I said, as badly as I just wanted to not talk about this because I'm so frustrated with it and just close my computer and go on with my day, I felt it was very important that I make this video and I share this with you. And I'm open, honest, transparent with you guys because it's really important that you see everything. And when I have my bad days, I'm not afraid to talk about it because it's good for me to talk about it. It helps me learn. I'm going to review this trade again later tonight and really try to see, you know, what could I have done differently? You know, did I make any major mistakes? I mean, maybe if I had smaller position size, would I have still stopped out at those spots? And I think the answer is yes. I think even if I had half the size I did, I still think I'm stopping out at those price points. You know, it got me today. It got me today. And even though I was confident that we were going to squeeze, I still was not able to execute today. And that's just an example of why, you know, intraday execution is so important. Even when you have a longer term trade idea. I've been talking about this trade since Monday. Since Monday, I've been talking about an extension short squeeze to the 220s. Go back, watch my previous videos. I've been talking about it for days. And I got it. I was right, but it doesn't matter. Because you don't get points for being right. You get points for executing your trades well. And today, I just did not execute my trades well. So a poor trading day for me, poor P&L day, and an extremely overall frustrating day mentally. I'm happy that the day is over, and you know, Beyond Meat still will be on my watch list going into tomorrow. I'm not going to shy away from it because I got beat up in it today. I've traded Beyond Meat very well since the IPO. I've traded it many times. I love trading this thing. It's extremely volatile. It has tremendous liquidity. I can get big position size, and this thing has no problem moving $10. So as you can see today. So that's it, guys. I wanted to share this with you. I'm just definitely bummed out about it, but it's part of the game. Tomorrow's a new day, brand new opportunities. I'm going to come right back at it. I'm going to try to put this trade behind me, and I'm going to look to get myself back on track here tomorrow. All right, so I hope this video kind of helps a lot of you that maybe feel like, you know, sometimes you have like these days and it's hard for you to get past them when you're right about a stock, but you end up still losing money, or you're right and you miss out on the trade. It's a hard thing to deal with. It's a hard thing to get over. But You're not alone. Okay, it happens to me too, and I wanted to share this with you guys. All right. So tomorrow, brand new day, brand new opportunities, and we're going to look to get back on track. I'll see you guys in chat.